We have our Paige Peroso live in the studio. What protests? Paige?
Initially broke out in Charlotte after a police officer shot and killed Keith Lamont Scott on Tuesday near the UNC Charlotte campus. Protests in the city have been ongoing ever since. ELN News Network sent a team down to Charlotte last night, and what first were peaceful protests soon turned to chaos and another shooting. The night started off peaceful in uptown Charlotte.
Because we're all God's children, so all lives matter is why I'm here tonight, and I want to support that.
Signs were raised and candles were lit to remember Keith Lamont Scott, the black man who was shot and killed by Charlotte police officer Brentley Vinson on Tuesday. Vinson, a black officer, is suspended on paid administrative leave. Hundreds of members of the Charlotte community came to take part in the conversation on the second night of protests.
But it's going to take meetings, it's going to take people being open-minded, having conversations, serious conversations with things being said that may not want to be said.
This isn't our struggle, but it is our fight.
And although the beginning of the night was hopeful,
I feel great seeing people come together because people think that we can't come together without being violent, without rioting, without stealing, without looting and those types of things, and it's great to see this.
the protests quickly escalated.
I'm sick of the police shooting us for no reason.
The protests taking place in Marshall Park soon were on the move, marching down East 3rd Street. The protesters blocked traffic, with some even laying down in the street. But protesters in other parts of Charlotte were seen damaging buildings' windows, parked cars, and even starting fires. According to local officials, one man was shot and taken to the hospital last night and is in critical condition. North Carolina Governor Pat McCrory responded by declaring a state of emergency and calling in the North Carolina National Guard to assist local police. Protests are expected to continue tonight.
Thanks so much, Paige. You know, that seemed pretty intense. We're really glad you came back home safe. Do you have any updates for us? What's going on now?
Well, according to city officials, the shooting that happened last night during the protest was civilian on civilian, so there were no police officers involved. And city officials will also be holding a press conference this morning at 10:30, and it will involve the mayor of Charlotte and then also the chief of police. So they'll be talking at 10:30 this morning. Right now, we don't have any updates on the condition of the shooting victim. He's still in critical condition, at the hospital. So we'll hear more about that later this afternoon. And then on ELN's campus, the Black Student Union will be holding a march this Friday at 1:30. So if people are interested in that, they can attend that.
So lots of activity, obviously. There was violent protests in Charlotte the last 2 nights. We had you and the team there last night. What are your expectations for tonight? Is it going to continue?
It might. A lot of people are expecting that it will continue. Hopefully it won't. Hopefully it settles down and there's no more violence and, violence in Charlotte. But we'll wait and see, but hopefully not.